What makes an offer revocation valid in business law? Imagine you're making a deal and suddenly you change your mind. How do you make sure your withdrawal is legally effective? That's what we're exploring today. When can you truly revoke an offer in business law? The answer depends on a few key rules. First, you can revoke an offer at any time before the other person accepts it. Once they say yes, the offer becomes a binding contract, and revoking it is no longer valid. So, timing is everything. If the offeree accepts after you revoke, the acceptance is invalid and no contract is formed. Next, the revocation must be communicated clearly to the other person. You can do this by sending a letter, making a phone call, or even through conduct that shows you're withdrawing the offer. The important part is that the offeree actually learns about the withdrawal before they accept. If they accept before they know about the revocation, the contract is valid. There are some exceptions. For example, if you made a firm offer under the rules for selling goods, or if you promised to keep the offer open for a certain period, you can't revoke during that time. These are called irrevocable offers. Also, if the offeree has already started performing in response to a unilateral offer, you can't revoke it while they are performing. Another point is that, if the offer simply expires after a certain period, or if no time was set and a reasonable time passes, the offer ends automatically. Once it lapses, revocation is no longer needed because the offer no longer exists. Legal cases like Payne versus Cave and Byrne versus Van Tienhoven help define these rules. Payne said you can revoke any time before acceptance, and Byrne emphasized that revocation isn't effective until the other person actually knows about it. In business, it's important to communicate clearly and timely if you want to withdraw an offer. This helps avoid disputes and ensures both sides understand when an offer is still valid or has been revoked. Remember, the rules are there to protect both parties and keep transactions fair. So, always make sure your revocation is properly communicated before the other side accepts.